Hi there, my name is Brenda, and today I'm going to present to you my data visualization of Have I Been Living Myself Right? This data visualization is based on my self-care data. Why did I choose this topic to my presentation? For instance, we are very good at playing roles in our lives because we've been playing roles since we were born. Well, for me, I have been a daughter, I have been a sister, right here, I have been a friend, I have been a student, I have been a lover, and all those many roles we've been playing in our lives in order to be us. But the question is, how well do we take care of ourselves in order to be all that while still being us? Well, to answer that question, first I collect my data. Well, the data collecting method I use is taking notes and reading chat history because I couldn't write notes every time. And what did I collect? The first thing is activity and duration, the time, and how do I feel after I did the activity, and with whom did I do the activity. And total of the activity is 7 days. There are 72 data points or 72 activities in a week of my self-care. And the next phase is parsing or data structuring. So I arranged this data in Excel and in category, as you can see right here, it's arranged by date and total kinds of activities and the time, so I can make timeline out of it. Activities like what kind of activities I did, companion, tools, the duration for how long did I do the activity, value. Value right here is actually a category that represent the activity. So for instance, I have 4 categories or 4 values of activities. The first one is physical health, psychological health, beauty, and educational or knowledge related. And what I feel afterwards is how I divine how I feel after I did the self-care. And status of completion is actually like it's just divine and successful or unsuccessful. Is it like have I succeed in the effort of my self-care of or I haven't? Or and there is a mood meter and it will quantifying how I feel. Like I wrote 1 to 4 is very bad, 5 and 6 is bad, 7 and 8 is good, 9 and 10 is very good or excellent. And what I feel at the end of the day as a conclusion. And the next part is filtering. So from the data, I filter the data I will want to use as my data visualization. So the highlighted part of this table is what I will use next in my data visualization. The first one is date, time, the duration, what I feel afterwards, value, status of completion, and mood meter. And the result of that is this category right here at the top is actually the parameters I'm going to use in my data visualization. And it's based on Latch. I took 2 of them, which is time and category. The data for time is the duration of the activity and the time, so it can be processed into self-care timeline, just like I told you just now. And the second one is data for category is the value and the mood or what I feel afterwards. The complementary data will be the mood meter, which is I will take the lowest and the highest mood and also the difference of the moods. Like I will take the highest rise of moods and what affects what happened after before. And the function is to see the correlation between status of completion and how I feel afterwards. And the fourth phase is to represent and refinement, to do refinement. The first part of this phase for me is to prepare or guide making, because the first thing I prepare is this drawing right here. I drew these bars on paper with colored markers and balls, And so all these bars right here represent the data I have. For instance, the color coding right here, the green part of this bar, it represents my mood of happy and energized. Purple is for calm and thankful. Blue is happy but a bit guilty. And yellow to represent happy and satisfied or motivated. Red is for happy and loved. Black is a negative feeling, it's disappointed of myself. And gray is a bit guilty but a bit relieved. And the symbol setting right here, they all represent something, which is actually the category or the value of the activity. For instance, the horizontal stripe right here, it represents psychological health, while the vertical lines represent physical health. Diagonal lines represent beauty, and arrows represent educational related self. The second part for me is data visualization. I made my data visualization on a face towel right here. And this face towel, I chose this as a representation of my data visualization because need to exercise more is one of my findings throughout the whole process of data visualization. And this face towel right here, it's a personal reminder for me to keep doing exercise, to keep doing my self-care. And the thread right here, sewing, is a long process. It represents this long process of finding what self-care is best for you, what works best to raise your mood, to find yourself. Because self-care, because it is so personal, it is different for everybody. Self-care is not always about beauty. It's not always about putting your nail polish or doing your hair or putting on makeup. It could be for somebody, but people have different priorities, so it is really a personal process. And so right here, I'm going to teach you how to read my data visualization on my towel. This right here is a red bar. It has horizontal stripes in it. They represent the activity of psychological health. And red right here represents what I feel afterwards. It is happy and loved. The second part right here is after I have video calls with my loved ones. This one is a long nap. And it is a mix of three categories, which is physical health, psychological health, and beauty. And the green color, it represents my mood or how I feel afterwards, which is happy and energized. And all this right here, you can see that most of the activities or most of the threads are actually representing, this is my finding, is that most of the activities are psychological health related, and most of the moods I have are happy and energized. And the highest mood rise is actually when I do psychological health related self-care. And as you can see right here, these two stars right here, they represent two of the highest moods I have throughout the week. And flower right here, it represents the highest mood, which is 9.5, which is excellent. And it's not always a good day. They are not always good days because you can see there are two tiers right here. They represent the lowest mood of the week. What happened right there is that I did a mistake. And this is my reflection throughout the process of data visualization and analyzing myself. And the first thing I find is that quantifying myself in this assignment has gotten me to know more about myself, about my self-care, about how I loved myself, and what self-care actually works best for me. And the second point is that if there are some things I want to improve, they are, first, to appreciate myself more for what I tried, for what I did, and for what I achieved. And the second is to start looking at mistakes as lessons in my journey, not failures. because as you can see right here, there are two tiers. This two happened because I made mistakes. I was unsuccessful in my effort of doing my self-care, and it actually ruined my mood throughout the day. And so it needs a lot of effort to actually get back to my good mood. And the third point is to embrace more of my imperfections, because what matters is the progress I've made to love myself, right? And the last one, but not the least, is to exercise more, because it's a reminder for me. And so yeah, this data visualization is really revealing for myself, and I hope to improve my self-care even more afterwards. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you guys can find the most suitable self-care for you in a journey to love yourself more.